This is it, Hal.
Oh, they're just going for it. I have a feeling this is going to go terribly. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's React. I'm Kenny and this is Montana.
And today we're going to be reacting to episode 2 of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, The First Day.
The First Day. So I think this is the first official chapter in the actual story because the first one I think was like a filler to show off what the show can be. But this is actually the first canon chapter.
So this is like what we were intended to get first.
Exactly. Last episode we got introduced to Edward and Al and the Alchemists in general. Lots of questions were asked about like the Philosopher's Stone, what happened to these two brothers, how does alchemy work? Hello everybody, this is Kenny from the future with a new announcement. We've actually now chosen Full Metal Alchemist as the next series we're going to be doing, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you're excited every Thursday and Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for more episodes moving forward. Also, check out the Patreon linked in the description below to see the uncut extended version of both the first 2 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist, the first 2 episodes of Demon Slayer, and 2 OVAs from Attack on Titan. So make sure to check out the Patreon linked in the description below if you want to see those right now. All right, are we excited for episode 2 of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, The First Day?
Can't wait.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.
Dunderheads, this video was brought to you by the incredible members of the Let's React Patreon. If you want access to a ton of exclusive perks, check out the link in the description below. Have a good day.
Okay, wow,
right.
Nice little quick explanation there.
So they said of equal value.
So I think that means like matter can neither be created nor destroyed. That's
Right.
the law of equivalent exchange.
Yeah, but it's typically in reference to like protons or like atoms or just like mass in general, but they're doing a lot of other things too. So I'm interested to like see what like the conversion chart is or like what like everything that you can use, stuff like that.
Oh no, we're gonna get to see it.
No.
Just knowing that the mom is alive in this and kind of assuming she's dead, I feel like we're about to just see tragedy unfold. Last episode took place in the future, or at least was like more of a filler. And this episode's like where we're gonna get to see like the Attack on Titan-esque terrible thing.
Gotcha. Great.
Episode 2, The First Day.
Ed?
Nice house.
Where are you? Oh, you boys. Are you in here messing up your dad's study again? And Ed, you know better than to scribble on the floor.
Yeah, but it's not scribbling. Here, watch.
Whoa.
Unfazed.
That's alchemy, isn't it? Did your dad teach you that?
Was that
How
wood?
can he teach us
Yeah.
anything if he's not here?
Looks like it.
Right, we read about it in these books.
I can't believe you've done this.
I'm sorry, did we mess up?
Can't believe you did
No,
this.
no, it's great. You definitely take after your father. My little geniuses, you make me so proud.
And that was it. Mom had given us all the encouragement we needed. From that moment, we were obsessed with learning alchemy.
Yeah, I mean, pretty
In the
cool
summer of
ability.
that same year,
It's interesting that you can
epidemics
learn
swept the
it.
country.
An epidemic.
Sickness came. And it
Oh
took her.
no.
Oh.
Hey, brother. I'm hungry, aren't you? And it's cold here. Let's go home, please. Once Dad comes back, everything will...
Don't even talk about him! That bastard doesn't care about us. He's not our dad. He didn't even come for Mom's funeral.
Oh, wow.
All right.
So that seems to be Al, the younger brother. Through 1904, so it's 1904 in
Okay.
this.
Maybe we could bring Mom back.
But I thought it said in all the books that using alchemy to make people is something you're not supposed to do ever.
That's right. That's why it'll be our secret.
I thought I'd find you here.
What do you want, Winry?
You know what my grandma says? She says you shouldn't cry for loved ones who've passed away, because when you do, it makes them feel sad in the next world too.
We're not crying!
Great, I'll just stop then.
And who are you to talk anyway? Every time your
It's like,
parents
don't
go
be
away
stressed.
somewhere, you cry like a little baby.
I do not. I
Oh.
Sure, baby?
I'm so stupid for worrying about you. I'm going home to tell Grandma not to make you any dinner.
Hey, what are you gonna do that for? Hold up!
Yeah, wait for us.
Thanks for dinner!
Come on, Ed, drink your milk, too.
No, I hate milk.
If you don't drink it, you'll stay short forever.
You mean like you sawed-off old hag?
What was that, you little half-pint midget?
my god.
No pee-wee and baby subatomic shrimp.
Dang. A lot of height jokes so far.
Okay.
Reading those weird books in the middle of class again. You need to pay attention to the lessons.
Leave us alone, will ya?
So, what kind of books are they anyway?
It's a secret.
In other words, it's none of your damn business, Winry.
Come on, no
When
fair.
we-
You guys are always keeping secrets. Bye, Winry. Hey, I forgot. Grandma wanted me to tell you she's making stew tonight. Yay, stew!
Right, we'll be there. You know, whoever invented stew must have been a genius. I see.
What is
The theory
happening?
of human transmutation wasn't wrong. It can be done. It's possible. It's still just missing something. All of the answers I need are right here. The truth about human transmutation. Please.
I have an
you
idea.
to show it-
They said the reason that you can't do transmutation with humans is what is possibly worth the same as a human soul. Another human soul.
Oh, so you have to kill somebody to bring
I
somebody
think that's
back.
maybe what they're getting at.
Okay. Oh, I see that.
Because the whole concept is it has to be the same value, whatever that is. But
So it's a value being determined by this out-of-versal, like, God character.
I guess.
Wow, so episode 1 meeting God is a little... that's ambitious. Wow.
Full Metal Alchemist.
So they're close brothers, 10 and 11. Wow, we learned a lot there. So that's why
Yeah.
he lost his leg. He had his arm there. So what we saw there is that he traded his leg in order to make that weird, terrible version of, I think, his mom. And his brother somehow got taken. And I think he's going to try to offer up his arm in order to get his brother back. It seemed like limb purd transformation, you know?
I got the impression, and I could be totally wrong, that the alchemy situation essentially traded the brother for the monster mom. I thought maybe it was the leg for God.
Because he did get shown all that infinite knowledge.
Yeah.
So is that going to make him a better alchemist because he paid the price but did get some forbidden knowledge there?
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of information. I don't know how much he's going to be able to retain just because of the way they showed it.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right because he said, show me it again. He said, no, that's how much I could show you for the toll you've given
Right?
your leg.
And the toll is the foot.
Yes.
To Eastern Command this afternoon.
Well, now, aren't you the lucky one? Next time you come here, I expect you to have made Brigadier General. You got that?
Easy for you to say.
Oh, by the way, if you're leaving, I'll go ahead and give this to you.
What is it?
Something you might find interesting. The final report on Isaac McDougal. I'm guessing it hasn't reached your office yet.
No. Xingyi's Alchemy, what's that?
Apparently, that's something they have. To be honest, no idea. You don't know it?
No, it's the first I've heard of it.
So, how are the Elrics
Alchemy?
doing? You keeping those boys out of trouble?
I'm their commanding officer, not their father.
Hey, tell me something, Roy. Why'd you decide to make Ed a state alchemist anyway? He's just a kid. I mean, military life isn't easy, you know. That boy's gonna have to go through hell someday. You and I have certainly seen our share.
Who's the enemy, I'm wondering?
You guys have really similar eye colors.
Really?
Yeah?
Me and Roy Mustang?
No, the guy on the
They've seen
stairs.
hell. Both of them. And plenty of it.
Oh, so he knows about what happened? Does he know that he did it to his brother?
No.
Lieutenant
Oh,
Colonel, they're not in back either. What is this?
Where are they? Where are the Elric brothers? I want them found!
Oh, hush, Den. Don't bark at our guests. Yes? Hey, what is this? You have no reason to come barging in here.
Oh, well,
We went to your house, we saw the floor. What was that? What did you do?
oh.
he's just trying to bring his mom back.
We didn't mean it. We're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry.
Boy, are you?
Not the
This is a
trembling armor.
surprise, to say the least. I'd heard reports that there was a brilliant alchemist living in this town, so I came to check them out. The last thing I expected to find was a boy skilled enough to attempt human transmutation, or advanced enough to bond a soul to a suit of armor.
He knows.
Okay.
I'd say he's more than qualified to become a state alchemist.
Okay.
Should he choose to accept the position, he'll be required to serve the military in times of national emergency. In return, he'll receive privileges and access to otherwise restricted research materials. Given time, they may be able to find a way to get their bodies back, or even more.
Right after he came stumbling
What's
to my
more
door,
than your
half
bodies
dead and
back?
covered in blood, I went over to their house to see for myself what had happened. What was there? Whatever that thing was, it wasn't human. Alchemy created that abomination. It nearly killed them. And you want to throw those boys headlong into it? Would you really have them go through that kind of hell again?
Some tea?
I just want to say, first of all, that was so sad.
It's really sad.
But also the fact that the little brother's voice is the same when they've grown up.
Oh.
Still has the little tiny voice.
Okay.
Like wouldn't you say?
I thought that was maybe just to convey that he was still young. Like, I feel like kids' voices don't change all that much from ages like 5 to 8.
I just know that Edwards is totally wholesale different.
Okay.
Like, he's like, please, and now he's in the last episode. He was like way more assertive and like you can hear the difference.
Yeah.
I think distinctively
all right, so he's
it might
just
be
like
your
not aging.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not eating, not aging. It seems like maybe that's
Gotcha. That makes sense.
yeah. Like hopefully he's not cursed to just stay in that armor forever.
Mhm.
Say, Lieutenant?
Just Riza, please. It's Riza Hawkeye. Nice to meet you.
Lieutenant Riza? Have you ever had to shoot anyone?
But is this the little girl that was with them as kids? Yeah.
It seems like it is.
Soldiers like you are the reason my mom and dad left during the war, and soldiers are the reason they're dead. And now you're here to take Ed and Al away too.
If they go, that decision will be theirs, and theirs alone. Yes. It's entirely up to them now.
I'm not forcing you. I'm merely offering you the possibility.
Whether to move forward or stay still.
Will you sit in that chair wallowing in self-pity, or will you stand up and seize the chance the military can give you?
It's their choice. They choose their own path.
If you believe the possibility exists for getting your bodies back, you should seek it out. Keep moving, whatever it takes. Even if the way ahead lies through a river of mud.
Miss Riza, why did you become a soldier?
Because there's someone I have to protect.
We're leaving.
Riza.
Yes, sir. Well, I guess this is goodbye, young lady.
It's Winry.
Right. Bye, Winry.
You didn't even
So he
use
do
a
it to his arm. That's
transmutation
sick.
circle. You perform alchemy the same way the teacher does.
You can do it too, can't you?
Me? No way.
So you didn't see it, did you?
See what?
Never mind.
Hey, you! Don't mess up my auto mail! You know how hard I worked on that!
Hell, if it's half as hard as to throw a wrench, I'd be surprised! For real, you could try acting more like a girl and less like a gearhead.
You think I'm a gearhead, that's fine, but you had better get used to it! Because as long as you're wearing my auto mail, you're stuck with this gearhead whether you like it or not!
I like her.
It's unusual for you to
she's
observe
funny.
the examination, sir.
That's true. But I hear we have a 12-year-old boy taking the test. Thought I would come
12
out and see what all the
doing it. Wow.
excitement was about. Ah, would that be a steel prosthetic?
I don't get the best vibes from Eye Patch Man.
Oh, really?
Well, no, not just because of the eye patch. Because of that one scene where he cut down the guy in the opening episode. Maybe it was just to show he was badass, but seemed like he was trying to cover something
I
up.
think if he does that and has an eye patch,
Yeah.
like, read the room a little bit,
That's
you know?
true. That's true. Not the best vibes.
Yeah.
I see. So you had a rough time of it in Ishval,
Who's he?
You idiot. That's His Excellency Führer King Bradley.
Thank you. You may proceed with the examination.
Do you need something to draw transmutation circles with?
No, that's okay. I got it.
Wow. You need to draw.
He's not even using a transmutation circle.
Wow.
That's unreal.
Did he just make that out of the floor?
Nothing, yeah. Or the floor.
Yeah.
Specifically not nothing.
Silly, isn't it?
You know, there are some people who would see this as a good way to assassinate a VIP. In the future, you might want to rethink the way you conduct these examinations.
That's good. You clearly have nerves of steel, young man. But I'd say you still have much to learn about the world. You put on
He was
quite a
that
show,
quick
my
with his
naive young
sword?
alchemist. Good luck with the rest of your exam.
When did he draw his sword?
That was incredibly fast. The animation's beautiful.
It is.
I wonder if Ed's doing all right on his exam.
Say, Al,
Yeah? What is it?
if Ed does become a state alchemist, does that mean you'll be going away?
Yeah.
This silver pocket watch will serve as proof of your state certification. This envelope contains your certificate of appointment. And it would seem our Führer is not without a certain sense of irony.
Why is that?
Nothing. Congratulations. You've just officially become a dog of the military.
By order of Führer King Bradley, this document certifies that Edward
Elric has been appointed to the post of State Alchemist, and that he is hereby granted the title of Full Metal.
Ah.
Okay.
Full Metal?
So the titles are something that
Along
are
with their
granted.
commission, State Alchemists also receive a code name. Officially, you will now be known as the Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, it's because he's made of metal.
That. It's nice and intimidating.
Are you kidding me?
I think that'll suit me just fine.
Pause. You didn't realize that the show, Full Metal Alchemist, is named Full Metal Alchemist because it's about an alchemist called Full Metal who's fully metal with metal powers.
I thought that it was about the fact that he fully could only use alchemy for metal. I didn't realize it was because he was made of metal. Are you?
All right.
It wasn't that obvious.
All right.
It wasn't that
All right.
obvious.
I think that'll suit me just fine.
Hey, wake up. We're almost there.
So that's Leora.
Leora.
Could it really be there?
That's pretty.
The key to finally getting Al his body back. The Philosopher's Stone.
So they're really on a mission for the Philosopher's Stone.
All right.
I see. It's all becoming clear now. You did it, didn't you? The one thing even the most
That's
novice alchemist
sick.
knows is strictly forbidden.
Why don't you come down here and try me? I'll show you real quick who the novice is.
All right, so that is episode 2 of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. What are your first thoughts?
Fantastic. I can definitely see why they say this episode is where like the show really starts. I feel like we got a lot more kind of stuff established about like the world we're in and like the context of what they're doing.
Yeah, I really loved seeing the actual origin of how it happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, that like it was a result of his abilities. I'm wondering what's happening with the father.
Yeah, what's the deal with the dad? Didn't show up. A lot of stuff there. I think it's an interesting point that the brother hasn't been aging, and I wonder if that like what that's gonna mean for later on in the show.
And now he's like the youngest sort of member of the
state
military
alchemists.
dogs, they keep calling them. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Our next episode will be coming out next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to see the extended version of both of these first 2 episodes, as well as several episodes ahead of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, check out the Patreon linked in the description below, where those are posted, as well as the first 2 episodes of Demon Slayer and 2 Attack on Titan OVAs. All right, we have a lot to discuss, but before we do that, where are we headed?
All right, let's go to the episode verdict.
All right, thanks for watching. For now, we're going to go to questions given to us by our amazing Patreon members. If you want to ask us questions after every episode that we watch, check out the Patreon linked in the description below and join at any level to start asking. For now, let's go to question 1. Question 1. R. Lewis asks, after seeing everything the boys went through at such a young age, how do you think it will affect who they are as characters moving forward through the series?
Okay, I think Edward's going to be experiencing a lot of survivor's guilt, and survivor's guilt is typically when someone like survives something that kills someone else, but I think it can definitely still apply to getting out of a situation significantly less harmed than other people who are in your situation, because it just basically comes down to like, it could have been me and it should have been me because a ton of reasons, not necessarily logical, but stuff that people tell themselves in that situation. And I think that's part of what's driving Edward, or like a lot of what's driving Edward, which is not necessarily the best headspace to be in when you're making really quick decisions or really important decisions. You just really need to be thinking things through, and that's not the right headspace for that. I think Al is going to have a really hard time seeing his brother struggle with something because of him, because it's like obviously super hard to see someone you love going through something really difficult, but if you know that it's like explicitly for you and every obstacle they're facing and every difficulty that's presented is because they're trying to accomplish something for you, I don't think that he necessarily has a lot of control over how Edward is handling the situation, but I do think there's an amount of guilt that you can't really avoid when someone is doing all this really hard stuff for you and suffering consequences because of it.
And in a weird way, those two things are going to lead to them kind of leaning on each other.
Exactly.
So I'm excited to see more of their brotherly dynamic develop, because they're still both so young too.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to question 2.
All right, Carco11 asks, with the law of equivalent exchange firmly established as the basis of all alchemy, how do you think that rule will reflect or influence the themes and characters of the story moving forward?
Good question. First of all, the whole meeting God situation that Edward went through, kind of like, it struck me as sort of like what gives him an edge as a hero, kind of like the forbidden knowledge, or like the, being a Titan shifter. Like,
that makes sense.
Something that gives him access to more information. But the idea of the law of equivalent exchange, where it's like, oh, I can't show you that again for the toll you've paid your foot, and that's why you got to see that. Like, I think that moving forward, it's going to be, if any action happens, something else has to be taken away, and I feel like that's going to end up applying to people. It's going to apply to emotions. Like, I think it's going to be one of those constantly coming back in several different forms you wouldn't suspect.
100%.
So I think that the idea of alchemy not only being a tangible thing in the show, but also, because the thing is that at the basis of alchemy, this is gonna get deep. At the base of alchemy is change, and at the basis of every single show like this is change within a character. So the idea of slowly transmutating into who you are going to be, being put into a similar themed show as being able to transmit one thing into another, and the idea of a boy already being transferred into a armor set makes me think that that's going to be a huge thing moving forward. I'm really excited to see more of it. Any thoughts?
Okay, when you were talking about the importance of like change in alchemy and how a show's like the whole point of the character arc is to see how the character develops, I think something that they're going to lean into heavily, and this is something that you brought up with the foot especially. So in alchemy, every change requires the like physical exchange. I think they're going to make the parallel that every step of growth that a person takes also is going to require currency of some sort. Kind of like there's no such thing as a free lunch situation. Every time that, you do something that changes you as a person, there's something that you give up.
I totally agree.
I could see that being a really big thing.
All right, let's go to our final question. Sand FL asks, what do you think about the way this show balances hilarious comedy and devastating and sometimes dark themes such as death and grief?
I think it's a really unique choice. I haven't seen a lot of shows that do that.
Avatar is the only one I can kind of think of.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it kind of gives the show a range that not a lot of other shows have, because you can just see the whole span of human emotions over the course of minutes, which seems like a pretty fast like turnover period, but realistically it kind of isn't, and it just like allows for more story in the same amount of time.
And you connect to the characters more.
Exactly. And I also think just like frankly, it's more realistic. When things are sad, people like fall back on humor and say or do things that are like not what you would think someone would do when they're in mourning, and that's just how you deal with it.
Yeah.
And so I think showing like everyone's different reactions to that is definitely cool.
I was talking with Chris about this.
Love Chris.
Loves Full Metal. If there's not humor, you don't get to see human connection as much. Like you don't get roped into like if a character makes you smile, if they're not smiling, you will be frowning worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's such a window into the character's personality. Like seeing how they are when they're sad, it definitely like gives you information about what they're like as a person, but it's kind of...
It doesn't give you the whole picture.
It's pretty limited.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see more moving forward, but I think that's about it. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe down below. The next episode would be next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, also you can check out the Patreon link in the description below to see episodes 1 and 2, the extended version of Full Metal Alchemist, as well as the first 2 episodes of Demon Slayer in their extended uncut forms, as well as 2 episodes of Attack on Titan OVAs that have recently been dubbed. All right, I think that's about it. Are we excited for episode 3 of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.